I was in a hell of a funk with myself. I've kind of spent the past 5 years working with various different psychedelic substances like LSD, DMT, psilocybin, to kind of deal with my own trauma and my own baggage from my youth. I kind of cleaned myself out, as it were, and I lightened my spirit and my soul, and there was this growing emptiness. Okay, what the hell do I do now? I'd known about this space for many years, having, as I often quip, that I'm paying penance. I'm cleaning up the glass bottles that I smashed as a kid. I was down here drinking the cider, taking ecstasy, fucking, just part of our Friday nights. When we first came across it, it was so overgrown from all of the corners that you couldn't access it. The hedges hadn't been cut in many, many years, which meant that most people walked around it assuming it was a boundary. They didn't even know that there was land within it. This then meant it became a hotbed for sort of antisocial behaviour, criminal activity, a hotbed for intravenous drug use. So the area was filled with a lot of needles, a lot of paraphernalia, a lot of smashed bottles, alcohol containers. And yeah, obviously over the years we've done a lot of work through it. Initially we just litter picked. In 2023 we decided, in a conversation with one of the other clubs locally, it kind of inspired me to get back on the horse, as it were. So we went, alright, if we do this, we're going to do it properly. We're going to separate Hemp Gardens as a project. I'm going to separate Durham City Cannabis Club, so that Durham City Cannabis Club would effectively sublet the space from Hemp Garden and would fundraise to pay for the maintenance and the upkeep of the area. We were going to create a multi-phase strategy to redevelop the space, which, what you see now is completely unrecognisable from what it was previously. We've dug out all of the original pathways, we've built these wonderful raised beds, this nature area and seating area. We've reconstituted all of the original entrances. We've developed a biodiversity and wildlife strategy. We've been coordinating with local stakeholders. Over the years, we kind of grew to adding more services, to adding other community groups and associations that work in cannabis and drug law reform, trying to create, like I said, a little taste and glimpse of the future, so that you can go up to stalls and find out about the medicinal use of cannabis. You can go and learn about the industrial, commercial uses. You can go and meet various other groups and associations. Now we've grown into effectively a mini festival. We're still a stationary protest as per sort of local bylaws, but we provide hot and cold food and refreshments. We provide live entertainment. We've been working this year particularly with local sound crews, trying to bring in a different crew with a different event to promote synergy between disparate, alternative and often criminalised and marginalised communities. The events themselves are now well attended by not just who the media would have you depicted as, people consuming cannabis, youngins in hoodies. We have a plethora of diversity from all kinds of class groups, from all kinds of racial and ethnic groups. We have students here, we have the upper class people here, we have all of the kids off the local housing estates. You have elderly people coming to learn about cannabis to help with their various ailments. You have various tourists and that, because we've put down the hedges and maintained the spaces. It's a very welcoming, inviting space. We put up signage, inviting the public to come and experience the event. We are very open, very welcoming. We are trying to showcase the diversity of cannabis and cannabis consumers, and trying to showcase that the public consumption of cannabis, whether it be on prescription or not, is not an act of antisocial behaviour, and that cannabis consumers, when working together, many hands make light work, and just a few of us stoners have transformed this space. We've done what the council have said they wanted to do for 10 years. We have sat down and done, well, not sat down, but we've sat down, put together a plan, and over the past 3 years, we have executed it.
When did you first hear about what the council was planning?
The start of this year, we put up signage, little A4 laminated signs that would basically just explain who we are, little QR code linking to socials, etc., and discussing our intention to board up the disused toilet block, which had become quite an eyesore. Our intention was to board it up, and it was to spray paint a mural celebrating the mining heritage, the history of the local area, us as an association, and kind of our vision for the future. The council became aware of this. They wrote to us at our corporate address, because we're obviously a registered community interest company. They wrote to us as corporate landowners. They informed us that we could not touch the building and make substantial amendments, I can't remember the legal term, to the building, that for all they were grateful for us for what we'd done to transform the area, and I think in their words to, it wouldn't be the beautiful place that it is today without our efforts. No, they've split the asset, they're going to sell the toilet to the highest bidder, and they want to install £250,000 worth of gaudy and garish, unwanted outdoor gym equipment. They're going to destroy 70% of the green behind us here and install this equipment. Through ignorance, they have not wanted to acknowledge that we exist. Through their own limitations and lack of understanding, oh yes, some people consume cannabis, but there isn't like a culture. They didn't understand that there's this depth to it, that there's this whole thing, there's associated music and linguistics and hand gestures and body language and ways of being and modes of operating, And they've just gone, now some druggies use it and they're drugging it down there. We need to develop it to get rid of the druggies. And what's the opposite of druggies? It's health people. And I think it's as stupid as that. They're going, no, the community doesn't want druggies because drugs are illegal. Everyone wants to be fit, so let's get them all fit. And it's just a lack of understanding of the demographics of the city. It's not fit for purpose. The only purpose it's fit for is driving us off the land. I can't help but feel like it is literally just to destroy a community that they don't understand, a marginalised group that is protected under the Equality Act. A lot of us are prescribed patients, so you're discriminating against us because of our fucking health? Jesus Christ, man. And then to do that, to replace it with gym equipment for people who are physically infirm and frail and disabled and have limbs missing and shit, it's offensive. It's because we haven't had our voice heard. If they would just come and see us, if they would just give us a meeting, then we would have an opportunity to showcase who we are and what we've done, and they would hopefully get to see what all the others have seen. Yeah, I can lose this, but I don't lose who I am. I don't lose what I've done. I don't lose the opportunity to just go to the next bowling green that'll be abandoned next year when that club goes under and do it all again. To move next door and take that disused bit of land. Do you know what I mean? What does it say? The church isn't in the building, it's in its congregation. The park isn't in the park, it's in the people, man. Do you know what I mean? That's what we've built. It just so happens here's where it's home right now, and it would hurt, it would suck. I'd fucking be broken, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be like a bereavement. It'd be like I've lost a family member. But in that, I would grow stronger, I would grieve, and we would be proactive, and we would deal with it. The loss wouldn't then be to me personally in that sense. It would be to the wider society. It would be what people would lose, the people that come here that know this space.